Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you couldn't tell by the title, this is going to be an Ariana Grande inspired makeup look. I saw this photo a while ago floating around on the internet and I really loved the purple lid and the highlight, the contour that she had going on, so I thought I would try to recreate it. I even tried to do the hair, but I'm not a hairstylist. I have like the worst fingers for hair. I can't even get this braid to sit right, so it looks nothing like hers, but I tried. That's the point, right? It's just to try. So I have a little bit of a braid, a little bit of a high bun. I put on the gray sweater, but mine says Hakuna Matata instead of No Tears Left to Cry. But potato, it's all the same in my books. It just means no worries. This year she's been killing it. Like before, it's like she was a good singer and like, okay, she was alright. But 2018 and her new album, like I just like all of a sudden became like her fan. I hope that she keeps it up, but I was really inspired by this look. And let's just jump right into it.
One taught me love, one taught me patience, and one taught me pain. I'm so amazing to have loved. When all is said and done, you believe God is a woman. I wanna be like all the time. You believe God is a woman.
So I'm going to start this look by using a primer. So I'm just using MAC's Paint Pot in Ochre. This is just going to really hold that purple eyeshadow, give it something to grab onto. And it also will probably brighten the shadow. And in the photo it looks like she has it almost all the way up past the crease. Now that the most like boring step is done. For the purple, it was a pretty bright like lilac purple, lavender purple. So I'm going to be taking Natasha Denona, the Tropics palette, and the shade ZENA. I've been wanting to try this shade out for so long. I don't know exactly what Ariana used or what her makeup artist used, but that's as purple as I have in my collection.
We were on to some good shit. We keep dancing with the devil, but he doesn't have a back, no. Should be pulling away from the fire. Should go, but I don't even try. Gone in the deep end tonight, tonight.
And I'm also gonna keep in mind with this photo, it was taken at night and she definitely has a flash on because that highlight is just coming out like super drastic. So I'm going to keep in mind that with the flash, it most likely washed out and brightened this eyeshadow. So even though it looks like it's like a really, really light purple, chances are it could have been this shade variation of purple and the flash of the camera. And whatever filter could be on this, she may have blown this out so that it looks even whiter than it was. So I'm going to probably play around with my camera a little bit and see if I can actually get that washout effect. Because this shade, it's still like, it's lilac purple. Like if you look in the palette, that's like the bright purple. But when I put it on my eyes, it's kind of translating a bit more darker. So lighting will play a huge effect in this as well when you're trying to create that purple shade. So now that the base of the purple is on, I'm going to carry on and do the entire rest of the face because I just can't stand looking at it through editing. So I'm going to continue to do the face part and then we will head back to the eyes for the lashes and the brows and everything after the face is complete. So for my under eyes, I'm going to just do pretty much like my basic foundation routine with the highlight and the contouring. So to start, I'm going to be taking, of course, the MAC Duo Ended Brightner. And I tend to get super dark circles, so this thing is a lifesaver. And for the concealer, I'm taking Bye Bye Under Eye by It Cosmetics. I'm kind of like getting off the train on this one. It's starting to like, I don't know, I want to finish it, but it is super thick. Like it has really good coverage, but I just find that it's creasing a little bit on me, even though I set it with powders. Like it just looks like a very heavy under eye concealer. So once I'm done that, I am going to be in the market for a new concealer to try. It's super light too. Like I think I should have got it in like light medium, so when it's this light it's just so brightening that I have to go over it with my foundation to like blend it so it doesn't look so like stark white. Now if you've been watching my channel since like last year, you will know that I went through a pretty bad acne phase, and it did leave me with pigmentation issues. Not super bad and like not deep pockets, like it could have been worse. But because it's so pigmented, at least I find the best trick that I do to cover it is I use Beyond Perfecting concealer foundation from Clinique just in those areas, and then I will go over the entire face like with a light brushing of another foundation. This one is going to be the Becca Aqua Luminous Silk, and I have it in the shade Fair and Alabaster, which is, or Alabaster, shade 2. And I just find this, because it is also a concealer, it really does give good coverage. And it's an extra step that I take just to kind of cover those slight red marks that I do have. Because if you look in her photo, her skin is like flawless. So we're going to try to recreate that.
Give up on you, but I can't. You know I can't.
I like to apply this directly from the little gadget right onto the face, and then I will go in with a beauty blender. Blend this out. Now I don't like wearing a lot of foundation, so I do use the beauty blender and just a sparingly amount and just kind of bounce it around. But feel free to wear as much foundation as you feel comfortable in. I just like going for more of a dewy, glowy skin, and I just need something to even out the skin tone. I don't want to completely mask my face.
Saw your name on my phone, yeah. You only call when you want it. Baby, gotta be honest. You know my body never known better. It's like an
We'll set in a couple minutes. I'm just going to go in with the contouring routine, because you can tell in this photo that she does have contour. So I'm going to use the Tarteiest Pro Glow palette, and the shade the shade is actually a really nice cream contour. Now give or take, I use this in the summer when I had like fake tan on and I was darker. So we're going to just go light-handed with this and hope that it doesn't come out too muddy, because I am quite light right now. So I'm just using a MAC 192 brush. And with contour, you want to start where your ear lines up and kind of work your way down. Go like that if you have to. I'm going to go to about there, and I'm going to stop. You don't want to bring it right down to your mouth.
business. Mess me up and I miss it. We keep dancing with the devil, but he's never gonna let go. Should be pulling away from the...
I have a wide face, so I will contour the jawline to add some shadow. And my forehead is relatively small, so I don't need to put a whole lot there. I will just kind of bridge it like right here, because she has a really small forehead. And down the nose.
I should go, but I don't even try. Gone in the deep end tonight, tonight, tonight. I just wanna love ya. I just wanna love ya. I just wanna love ya. I just wanna love ya.
So the cream part is finished, so this is where I'm going to go in with my setting powders. I will continue to bronze with a powder and everything afterwards. And it's like right now my main priority is just to get this set so that it doesn't start to set in my fine lines. And I like using a small brush like this Bobbi Brown one just because I don't like to set the entire face and have powder just matte everything out. I do want to keep this dewy and highlighted. So using a smaller brush is going to give you that control to only set where you normally would have your fine lines. The nose I usually set. And I tend to get like a wrinkle right there, so it will set there too because I do have a face and facial expressions. Okay, so that is fairly set with the powder. Now I'm gonna go in and do something that I haven't done in a long time, but in this photo, like you could almost see that line. So I feel like they may have done this for her, but I'm gonna actually like dip my beauty blender into my powder and press it underneath. And I just find doing that you can start to see that contour, just it sharpens it a little bit more, having that lighter shade. And we're just going to go in with a little bit of Urban Decay. Keep the dewiness, and then while that is setting, I'm going to move over to the brows. Now her brows are very thick, but they're a different shape than mine. They're very thick, but like they don't have an arch. They literally go like straight. So I don't know if that shape will necessarily flatter my eye type. So we're gonna see what we come up with here. So brush them. Now I'm torn between doing a powder or a pencil. I think I'm gonna do the pencil to try to create that shape, and then I might fill in with the powder. So this is IT Cosmetics Brow Power Perfector. And it's in the shade Universal Taupe. So let's see here. I mean, like I have to like get rid of my arch. And it's like rounded here. Oh my god. Girl, I don't think these are the brows for me. I'm not gonna fill completely in with the pencil because I think that looks like really thick. So I'm gonna have to go over this. Oh, I hate brows. Brows are not my forte. Like, honestly, don't come to me for brows because they're not good. I should have just stuck to my natural brow shape. Well, this is a lot harder than I thought it would be, and I have naturally like thick brows, so it's not like I'm starting from like a base of 0 and making it. It's like I'm trying to include my natural brow in it, so. Ooh. Wow. No. No, no, no.
I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you.
So hard for me like not to square it. Like I have to square it. I know hers are like rounded at the front, but I can't. Like I have to square that off. Like my natural shape, like I square like in the center, so like I can't not square. If I go circular, it just. Okay, That is like as thick as they are gonna get and as rounded as I'm gonna make them. They're already pretty intense for my face. Like, she has such a small face. Why are her brows like, literally, like, her brows are like half her face. Well, not really, but like, her brows are pretty big for the size of her face. So I think that we're good. And then I'm going to go back in with ZENA and just kind of diffuse it again. I feel like we lost a little bit of that in that process. Before I put on Falsies, I'm just going to add on a little bit of mascara. This is L'Oreal Luminous Lash Paradise. For the lashes that I chose for this look, I'm doing the Classic by My Lash. They're the 3D Faux Mink lashes, and they're pretty full set. So she definitely has a full set of falsies on in this photo. This size would be a pretty decent size, I'm hoping. Okay, now the eyelashes are on, we're gonna move on to the face again. This is Melba from MAC, and I'm gonna go in just very lightly on the cheeks.
He got it out for me, you know. He's such a lion searching prey. Sweet talking dirty.
I'm gonna go in with the shade Sculpt from the same Tarteiest palette.
Like an honest copy paste. Swarm around my head, look the way he goes. Buzzing like he thinks that he's my hero. Thinking of taking a break, shutting it down to refresh. Honey, it's all for the better. Oh no. So spit it out to my face. It's okay. I've been busy working late, unrehearsed my face, like repeating my mistakes. It's alright, it's okay. There is no one else to blame. I'm busy loving myself. I've been prioritizing, and you don't make it on that list. Don't get offended, baby. It's just a self-reviving thrift. Swarm around my...
Now in the picture, your girl is looking down, and I could not for the life of me find a picture of her looking up with the same day, same makeup. So I'm just gonna have to like estimate, like guess what I think she maybe had done on the under eye, which I don't think is a whole lot because the top lash and everything is a lot. Just gonna take a little bit of black eyeliner and just lightly do the waterline. Just to kind of make my eyelashes look thicker on the bottom. And for highlighter, I'm going to be using Tarte Skin Twinkle Volume 2 palette. Just the two shades that are in it, Daylight and Skylight, are the two that I'm going to choose for this look. Actually, I'm going to do a mix. I'll do Skylight and Daylight mixed. And just apply it right on that cheekbone. Now I'm building this to the intensity that I'm seeing in that photo, and again, as I mentioned, that photo was taken at night with flash. So just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to build it like I'm seeing a flash on it. And she's a little highlight on the nose. Yeah, so on the inner corner when she's looking down, I can see a highlight right in that inner corner. So I'm going to be taking the shade Daylight, and I'm just going to do the exact same area. So for my lipstick, I'm going to be taking like we're gonna do a little bit of mixology with my lipstick. So I'm gonna be using lip liner, and I'm gonna be taking the shade Staunchly Stylish from MAC. Swatch it here. So I'm gonna take that shade because I really think that that's a nice, almost like dusty rose. And if you wanted to have a cheaper option, we do have L'Oreal Color Riche Au Naturel. I'm going to swatch them side by side. They're very similar, so I'm going to say this is like a dupe shade. Okay, so Au Naturel by L'Oreal and Staunchly Stylish. Au Naturel is a little bit darker, but they are in the same shade range, and really when you're lining your lips and you blend it out with a lipstick, it's not that noticeable. So those are going to be my little dupes for you today. But like I said, I'm going to go in with MAC. And for my lipstick, I'm going to be taking Victoria Beckham with Estee Lauder. This is the shade Nude Spice Matte. And in the picture, I didn't have this exact lip shade. I'm not even sure exactly what it is. So it looks like it is a little bit of a nude light gloss on top of it. It's definitely not a matte lipstick. I'm going to go in with Revlon, and the shade is Bellini. And this will also change the shade a little bit lighter because this is a quite dark matte, but it's the closest I had to like this nude range. That is my Ariana Grande inspired look. I hope that you guys like it. I know I'm just gonna go play some Ariana Grande songs right now, and just hopefully in 2019 she's gonna kill it as much as she did this year. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.